The next evening she was beckoned again soundlessly from the mirror. Remembering the unusual headache from the night before, she located the colored bulb to replace the white one in the hall light fixture. Then she slowly turned and looked in the mirror, discovering her other self. But this image of herself was ethereal in appearance, as a nightly reflection from a silent pool of water. Rosa also understood why she experienced that horrific headache. This being eyes were so black and yet so luminous that when the bright hall light was on and shone into her eyes, much of the glare must have been reflected out through her corners again, back towards the bright light, rendering a blinding brilliance to the one outside the mirror, Rosa. Peering a little closer in the mirror, Rosa discovered a virtual image of herself, except her silent partner had a beauteous face with perfect symmetry of her facial features, and not with pain etched on her face like Rosa, but her long and slow exposure to terminal disease. Best of all the pieces of her body were there. Also emitting from the mirror was another world, ghostly, floating, soothing, peaceful, and best of all, seemingly pain-free. It was the beginning of an emotional bond between Rosa and her other self, making the mirror the only constant in her life. She felt in limbo, a nothing time, in between seasons, but she also felt peacefulness slowly enveloping her. And so it began, a love from one being to another, even if it is one's other self. Two solitudes coming nearer, recognizing, protecting, and comforting each other. Rosa's silent partner beseeched Rosa to step into the mirror, to let her hold Rosa's pain, thus allowing Rosa to rest a while in peace. And Rosa stepped in. Rosa started visiting within the mirror with her other self during the day when her husband Joe was at work. At first the visits lasted 10 minutes. Soon they escalated to 30 minutes, to 60 minutes, and then one day she spent most of the day within the mirror. On that particular day, Joe, coming home early from work, found his Rosa fast asleep in her large upholstered rocking chair that had been placed at the end of the long hall, facing the mirror. She had the appearance of one being gently embraced, leaving a peaceful and grateful expression on her face, not wishing to disturb or awaken her in case she had been stricken with yet another bad bout of endurable pain, to finally, blissfully fall asleep. Joe found an Afghan and gently covered her. Joe, forever feeling her pain as well as feeling his helplessness, prayed to the gods, somewhere, everywhere, to ease his beloved Rosa's great pain. He had noticed of late Rosa appeared more contented and peaceful in spite of. In the mirror, Rosa gazed on the sea of faces from the past, and she also observed that she was pain-free and at peace. Parts of her past life were unfolded in front of her. Her strengths, joys, the laughter, her pleasures, her wholeness, before the ravages of her disease took over her body. Rosa found it hard to believe, to imagine that just outside, in the city, there were other people and other lives. Every day thereafter, until Rosa turned on the hall light with its fulvous colored bulb, leaving an effervescent glow, then drifted hypnotically and noisily to her beloved mirror, her other self, her silent partner, sane versus the insane, that beckoned her always to come in and leave her pain, to rest a while with her in peace. On a clear winter day in December of the same year, with the sun shining brightly, a perfect day to leave, to traverse into the world within forever, Rosa glanced on the hall table and noticed an hourglass that had suddenly appeared, in which the grains of sand were dropping one by one, reminding her soon it will be time to cross over into a world of exquisite human silence everywhere. Painless and at peace, Rosa's winter had arrived. As she entered the mirror for one last time, the mirror, not unlike those of Archimedes, sent back the sunbeams from every side to the side walls of the long hall, igniting them into flames by adding intensive light to light the mirror, thereby eventually producing eternal darkness, with Rosa and her other self never to be seen alive again. There was no way of knowing which substance left off and shadow began, thus versus sane. Together at last, the meld was complete.